This commission come forth and you shall be heard. Please silence your cell phones and refrain from making any noises in the meeting room. May God bless the United States, the state of Tennessee, and DeKalb County.
I'd like to ask Mr. Jeremy Poole to come up and do our invocation at the podium, please.
Thank you, Mayor Adcock. And just want to introduce myself. My name is Jeremy Poole. I'm the newly elected pastor at Smithville AG. And appreciate all you county commissioners and everything you're doing. And I can't wait to get here, move into the community, and join forces with you in the county and in the city and abroad to make DeKalb County a better place and serve you the best way I can as a pastor in this community and our church in this community as well. Amen. All right, let's pray. Father, I thank you for this opportunity to stand before these leaders today and our wonderful citizens across our county. God, I pray that you would move in each and every one of our hearts to understand that you've placed us here and you've placed us in this governing moment to govern our community, to serve our community, to reach our community, to better this community, God. And I thank you for the opportunity to come and join the ranks of those that have served here for many years. And God, I pray that you would just enhance this meeting, you would use this meeting, God, to better this county in every way possible. God, may we see your will for the county. May we see what you have designed for us, God, because you have placed us here to serve in this moment. So God, I pray that we would offer what you have for us, and God, we would carry this county forward in a special way. I thank you for the mayor and all the commissioners and their willingness to serve this county, and all the citizens here that represent this county well. And God, we give you praise and give you glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. Colwell, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Tom Chandler, Tony Luna,
Here.
Larry Green,
Here.
Beth Pafford,
Here.
Myron Rhodey, Greg Matthews,
Here.
Andy Pack,
Here.
Glenn Merriman,
Here.
Susanna Cripps, Daniel Cripps, Jeff Barnes,
Here.
Sabrina Farler,
Here.
Tony Colwell.
Here.
3 absent, 10 present.
Thank you, Mr. Poss. Our next item on the agenda is public comments. Is there anybody from the public that would like to come up and speak to the county commission? Okay, yeah. So just state your name and your address or the district that you reside in, and we'll give you 3 minutes to speak. We won't be taking any questions. Questions will be after the meeting, but indeed we'll do public comments.
Okay.
Sorry for the podium being so tall there.
That's okay. I'm short. Hi, I'm Deb Young, and I live on Evans Mill Road. And I'm just wanting to bring it to the attention of the board tonight that a lot of us on the road have had a lot of animals killed, and we're worried about kids and our animals, about the traffic that goes so fast on this road. We don't know, I mean, I know y'all can't put a speed limit sign on there, but maybe you can let us know what we need to do next to get something of that sort to help us out. I live on Evans Mill Road, and I've been here about all my life, so, and I know a lot of people here, so if you could help us out anyway, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other member of the public that would like to speak to the county commission? All right, just state your name and either the address or the district that you reside in. We'll give you 3 minutes to speak. We won't be taking questions. It'll be afterwards, but we will indeed take public comments.
All right, I'm with the young lady that just spoke on Evans Mill. The speed limit down there is 55, and it should be 45. Most of these roads around the lake that go near the lake should be around 45. I was just telling Mr. Green a while ago that Bright Hill should be 45, and I see there's 3 members here that I addressed the other night, and I said, go down Bright Hill when you leave here. So I'd like to get a search party together for those other 3 people that's not here tonight, because if they went down there, it is bad. And I think Jimmy can tell you that, because he lives part of it. His dad lives down there. We had a cousin that was hit, I don't know, it's been 5 or 6 months ago, that was hit head on by somebody coming across one of those hills, coming too fast. If a truck goes down through pulling a trailer, the truck's front wheels are on the right side of the yellow line. Their rear wheels are on the yellow line. A trailer is across the yellow line. I tried when I was sitting in this courtroom to get the court to ban any kind of trailer from coming down that way. Any semis or anything like that. My wife had to pushed off in a ditch from a semi coming that way down Bright Hill. And we should do away with anything that's a trailer coming down that way. I taught driver's ed here. 2 of my students had a wreck down there. One of them was killed. That's been about probably 15 years ago or so. But I think that if you're going to do a speed limit on both those roads, I've driven those roads for 60-something years. I'm 73, and I've been driving those roads since I was about 10 years old. I've traveled those roads since I was a baby. They are dangerous roads.
Thank you, Jerry. Is there any other member of the public that would like to come up and speak before the county commission? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Approval of the agenda. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Greg Matthews,
I'll second it.
seconded by Tony Luna. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to add a resolution opposing Governor Lee's Education Freedom Act to the agenda under new business.
Okay. Does anyone have well,
Do I need to make a motion to do that? Or,
yes. Would we have to vote on the first motion first, or would we go to the second?
Second.
Okay, so we need to get her a second for this, right?
Move to amend
Right.
yes, to amend the agenda
Yep.
to include
Would
that.
anybody like to second that for Miss Beth Pafford?
I'll second it.
Second by Tony Colwell. Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No. No.
All right. I think we need to make a roll call vote for the amendment of our agenda.
Tony Luna,
Yes.
Larry Green,
No.
Beth Pafford,
Yes.
Greg Matthews,
Yes.
Andy Pack,
Yes.
Glenn Merriman,
No.
Daniel Cripps, Jeff Barnes,
No.
Sabrina Farler, Tony Colwell,
Yes.
six yes, 4 no.
Yes, 4 no. All right, the motion dies for the lack of majority. All right, so we still have the original motion on the floor. Is there any more discussion on the original motion to approve the agenda that's displayed as is? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes. So the agenda will remain as is. Approval of minutes for our February meeting. Anybody like to make a motion to do so?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Glenn,
I'll second.
seconded by Greg. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Our first financial report is our local option sales tax report. Anybody like to make a motion to
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Motion to accept by Colwell, seconded by Daniel Cripps. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Our budget amendments. For Fund 101, we have a miscellaneous refund for the Sheriff's Department for his in-service training. Anybody like to make a motion to accept this budget amendment?
I'll make a motion.
Tony Colwell, and seconded by Andy Pack. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Our Safe Baby Grant, and the amount of $100,000. Would anybody like to make a motion for the Safe Baby Grant
I'll make a motion.
amendment? Greg Matthews made a motion. Tony Luna seconded that motion. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We have 3 budget amendments from the DeKalb County Board of Education. Would anybody like to make a motion
I'll make
to
the motion.
combine these amendments and pass them as is?
I'll make the motion to
I second.
pass them.
All right, Greg Matthews made a motion to combine these budget amendments into one motion
Or second.
and accept, and Sabrina Farler seconded that motion. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Our committee reports, the Economic and Community Development Committee. Anybody like to make a motion to acknowledge this committee report?
So moved.
Larry Green made a motion,
Second.
seconded by Andy Pack. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Our jail committee meeting we made on March 18th. Would anybody like to make a motion to acknowledge this committee report?
I'll make the motion to acknowledge the committee report.
Greg Matthews made a motion,
I'll second it.
seconded by Tony Luna. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. In new business, our first item will be the creation of the Forethought and Preparation Committee as a standing committee and have it entailed into our policy and procedures. Would anybody like to make a motion to do so?
I'll make that motion.
Tony Luna made a motion for the creation and addition to our policy and procedures for the Forethought and Preparation Committee. Would anybody like to second that motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Colwell. Is there any discussion?
Question, before a vote, you were gonna check to see if it could only, or if it only had to be commissioners, or if there could be people from the public? How did that ever turn out?
I believe, again, I need to look at this. I have failed to do that, but I believe a person from the public can sit on this committee. But the creation of it that I had in mind in that prepared statement would have been commissioners, 3 from the budget committee.
So in the policies and procedures book, we have them laid out very
Yes.
detailed.
Yes.
Is there more information on this?
Yes, that was provided by email and by media source. But
So the write-up will
it
be
is-
from the media, in the policies and procedures book? There's a section in our
no,
policies
it
and
was
procedures book?
sent out by email.
Okay,
There's 7 people on the committee, and 3 are from the budget committee.
okay. Yeah, I got that email. I just
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that was still, so that's the email that was sent is what would be
Yes, that's
attached to
how-
this in the
yes.
policies and procedures.
That's correct. Yep.
Instead of forming a whole new committee, why don't we do that on a Thursday night work session?
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
That way the whole commission then is there, and you can throw out new ideas, you can look at what we need to be doing for planning.
I guess my thought process behind this was giving a whole night dedicated to it. I know in the workshops it gets kind of lengthy sometimes, and a lot of people are tired and they want to go home, and they're fast to adjourn. So I just thought having one night of people sitting down and committing that night only to the forethought and preparation for the future of the county, I guess was my intentions. But it's another viable way of doing it too.
I think
But I'm open to ideas.
I think it's a good idea to do it your way. I know on the Economic Development Committee, we get a whole lot done in a short amount of time, and that way we can focus on just this, which is needed.
Right. Any more discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye. I thought I had a motion in a second. Did I not? Yep. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No,
No.
All right, let's do a roll call. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do roll call.
Tony Luna,
Yes.
Larry Green,
no,
Beth Pafford,
No.
Greg Matthews,
No.
Andy Pack,
Yes.
Glenn Merriman,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
No.
Jeff Barnes,
Yes.
Sabrina Farler,
Yes.
Tony Colwell,
Yes.
six yes, 4 no.
All right. Motion fails because of lack of majority. Our second item in new business is the approval of a beer permit. This is the Willow Tree Tavern. It's already was an existing facility, but I guess it's been renamed with new owners. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the beer permit for Willow Tree Tavern?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Greg Matthews made a motion,
I'll second it.
seconded by Tony Luna. Is there any discussion? All
are
right.
there any other requirements besides the setback so far away from the church? Like, does he have to have a background check or anything?
Yes, we do a background check, and if anything comes up, we let you know. I believe this one was clean, right, Jimmy? Everything turned out all
I
right?
have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Do you
I
do the
don't.
background check before we vote on it, or do we do it after?
I thought we did it before, but,
I have no idea.
Okay.
Again, when, through the whole time that the beer board has been a board since 2014, it was made up of members from the public, never from the legislative body. And those people didn't want my assistance. And I relieved myself from that position because they didn't want my help, and I didn't need the extra overload anyways. So I went to the state attorney, and they advised me that this never was the county clerk's duty, that the county clerk would be more obligated as being the clerk of the legislative body for a beer board if it was consisted of the legislative body. But since it was made up of members of the public, it's just like planning commission or anything else. It's up to that board to decide who's their secretary and what they want to do and how they want to run it. Now, once I was made aware that the commission was taking it back over, I'm more than happy to serve, whether it's at a regular meeting or a different meeting for you guys. But again, y'all are a new board of 14, and I have no idea what y'all want, what y'all need, because again, when I was trying to help the other board, I provided them with manuals and literature from CTAS and training and a host of different things. So I don't know what y'all want. Now, we do collect the money for the application fee, and we collect the wholesale beer tax in our office, which we always have, and we'll continue doing that. That is part of the duties of the county clerk. But now, as far as what you guys want done, that's up to y'all for us to pass on to the applicants that's applying. I just need to know what y'all want us to do, and that was my suggestion to the mayor, of us getting together for a short, brief time after one of these meetings before we had one of these applicants to apply, but that's never happened. So again, I'll be happy to get in touch with this gentleman and tell him that tell him he needs to, if that's what y'all want. But again, I didn't know for sure what y'all wanted done. Didn't know for sure if y'all have even had any literature handed to y'all to have anything to review or to go out and check. If it's the next one that comes up, if you need, I would imagine you would need some literature and some knowledge to fall back on to look at these applicants before we get to this part of the process. But as far as this particular applicant, I mean, we can definitely contact him tomorrow and tell him that he needs to fulfill a background check if that's what y'all want to do. It's not mandated. It never had been done until 2014.
So, Matt, maybe we should put this off, because I think most was under the impression that background checks were done. We might need to figure out how we're gonna do this then, if we're gonna have them,
Yeah.
and are we gonna go back and everybody get them, or are we just gonna, grandfather them in?
Right. I agree.
So we dissolved the committee and we didn't really establish a plan with us?
Well, normally the county commission serves, I mean, one of their duties, just like naming roads or speed limits or anything else, is approving beer permits. So, you have the authority to delegate that into a board if you'd like to. But we were having trouble with the last board. That's why we dissolved it. So we were just bringing back the power back to the commission, to do that.
Can we approve it pending a background check?
Yeah.
That way we can say, okay, we'll do it if you pass the background check, and then leave it up to
I think that'd be
whoever
appropriate. Yeah.
to do it from there.
I mean, we already know the status of everything else because
Sure.
it's already in a place that had been previously approved.
Sure.
So we know it meets all the
Location
standards,
works.
other than the owner
Yeah,
is
the
the only thing that's
location works,
changed.
it's just the owner.
Yep. Yeah, if somebody would like to amend it to say just, as long as he passes the background check, then yeah, we can do it that way.
I'll amend it that way.
Okay.
As long as he passes the background check, he's good.
All right, Tony Luna is going to amend that to say that it is approved pending background check. And I guess that would be a background check of no findings.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to second that motion?
I second.
Seconded by Glenn Merriman. Is there any discussion?
Do they have to have
Go ahead, Jeff.
do they have to have a background check? I mean,
No, there's nothing that says you have to have a clean background to get a beer permit. That's not by law. I think that's just something they started, just trying to look into people. But it's not something we have to require.
Let me
Yeah.
address that. In the state regulations, you can't have a felony involving moral turpitude, and I won't go into that, for the last 10 years. So, you can have a felony as long as it's not been within the last 10 years.
Is there anything that says that we have to be the one to give them the permit? I'm not saying we shouldn't, I'm just asking, just for knowledge. Is there?
You are the board,
Right.
well,
So we have to give background checks?
no.
Oh, okay.
No, there's no requirement of that.
Right.
You know,
But it's just something we were looking
The
for.
application itself has that question on it.
Okay.
Have you been convicted of a felony within the past 10 years? So obviously, if somebody lied on that and it came to light, I mean,
Right.
not only be subject to having his license revoked, but perjury. But no, that's the only requirement right there.
Okay.
Does the background check cost the county anything?
Yes, it does cost to get background checks, I believe.
Can that be
Does the
part of the
county pay
fee
for it?
process that they pay for?
Do what? I'm sorry.
Can that be part of the fee process that the licensee pays for?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, there's no-
Yeah, I think yes. Yes, it could be.
Is the county paying for the background check?
We have before, yes.
Now, with the application fee, there's an
It's in
application fee of
Yep.
$250.
And that's part of it?
And I think the background check costs $25.
That's something, it's small,
Yeah, it's small.
but that's something that
38.
we could pass on
So
to
they're
them.
kind of paying for it, correct?
Yeah.
With the
Yeah. Okay.
application
Yeah.
fee?
Does the county pay for it, Jimmy?
Again, I've not been involved with this since 2015, so I would be wrong to answer that question. I would have to look back at the records of what we done in the short time. I can tell you they were not being done, had never been done prior to 2014, and I was involved, Judy and I, for barely a year once I came in office, and then when they pretty much told me they didn't want us helping anymore, in a soft kind of way, I relieved myself and my staff from those duties, and that's been several years ago, and like many things, there's been a lot of expenses that's changed since then. As far as who was paying what, I don't remember. I thought the application fee, it was $250 then, it's $250 now. I didn't remember it covering that cost, whether the county covered it or the individual covered it. I'd be wrong to answer it either way without looking back at records. I'll be happy to do that. I'll be happy to work with this board of obtaining information for you guys to where y'all can reach decisions, or let y'all reach out to CTAS, either way you want to do it. There's a wealth of information out there on beer board permits, on premises, off premises, classes on it. I mean, it's just unlimited, the resources and information that you can have to make decisions with this stuff on the requirements and all. But as far as having the background check, it never was, at that point in time, it never was mandated. Like Mr. Conger said, there's a question on the application that asks that question.
Yeah. I mean,
Therefore, that was the only stipulation with that being answered correctly or not that could cause somebody a situation, should they answer that wrong and then be caught in a background check, should you be doing that. And again, at that time, I felt like it was a good thing to do to protect the citizens of the county, and more than anything, the county commission and our county as a whole, and the ones issuing the permits. But it's totally up to the board.
So I guess if the question is have you been convicted, who checks that? I mean, if we're gonna approve them before, or we ain't even gonna look into them, then we're all approving something under the pretest that they have never been. And I'm just not all right with, you know.
I think the way we were doing it back then, Mr. Conger, were they not coming 2 times at that point in time when we met? Were they not presenting themselves, identifying where their business location was at, and that they'd paid the permit and they were awaiting their results? They had either already been through the background check, or they were going to do that and then reappear once we had those results back, and then on that second meeting when they come back, it was either denied or accepted. That's my recollection.
Well, my recollection that the reason for they called it back then just accepting the application, not
Yes.
voting on it.
Yes.
And then they actually designated somebody to go out and make sure that they were within the distance requirements.
All
and-
parameters were met, yes.
Yeah, but they weren't requiring background checks at that. The delay in granting it wasn't because of the background checks. It was to make an investigation as to where the establishment was, and that was for new establishments, like it's been mentioned tonight. This one, as I understand it, there's been more than one granted at this location, so I'm assuming that.
And I think personally, just knowing now, since the meetings will be held in junction with the monthly session meetings, a lot of this for the applicants is going to be a timing issue. If you have somebody that comes in the 1st through the 5th of the month and has their application fee completed, it's likely that they may be able to go within the first week to 10 days, do that and have the results back before the meeting. But then you take someone towards the end of the month that comes in 3 days before a meeting, it's going to be very unlikely that they're going to have that done until the following month. So we just need to, as a board, we just need to know, how you want to run this. Are you wanting to do it all at once? Or you want to, like if they had the applications filled out today, I could have had somebody come in today and fill one out. So if somebody comes in today, do you want these people to present themselves before the board prior to doing the background check? I just need to know what to tell these people when they apply for the application, and right now I have nothing to go on to tell these people.
Mr. Mayor, don't we need to set up some ground rules, kind of a guideline of how we want to run this?
Yeah, we can.
I mean,
However y'all want to do it, it's up to your.
Is the question about the charge history, is that from the state of Tennessee? Is that something that they require to be known? About being convicted of a felony?
Yeah, it's on the application.
Then I feel that there should be background checks.
And it's in the state law that you can't be
I mean,
a
if the
felon
state's
within the last
requiring
10 years.
If the state requires it, I feel we should too. I mean,
But, again, that's on the application and it's under oath. The state does not require a background check. That's, the TBI does that when you fill out your application for a background check.
Yeah, but if we're gonna approve or disapprove, I think it'd be best that we know who we're approving or disapproving.
What if we refer this to a government services committee, let them outline the rules of how we're gonna, the process, who does what and how and the time frames and all that. If everybody's comfortable passing what we have tonight, which is an existing facility, just a new owner, and then we've amended the motion to say that, that's subject to a background check. So once the background check is completed, if he's fine, then we'll approve it. It'll already be done and we can move on, issue the permit.
Yeah, we don't need to hold this guy's business
Right.
up because we're unorganized.
Right. And then we can get the government services committee to convene and draw up, for the next time, we'll be more prepared on how we're gonna address these permit approvals. Any more discussion?
I think you're setting a precedent if you go ahead and approve it without any guidelines for what we're doing.
Any more discussion? Looks like we got a little bit of opposition, so let's do a roll call vote. Mr. Poss, if you don't mind. The motion is to approve Willow Tree Tavern, subject to no findings on a background check.
Tony Luna,
Yes.
Larry Green,
No.
Beth Pafford,
Yes.
Greg Matthews,
for approval of the background check.
This is to approve the permit for Willow Tree Tavern, subject to no findings on a background check.
Yes.
Yes.
Andy Pack,
Yes.
Glenn Merriman,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
Yes.
Jeff Barnes,
Yes.
Sabrina Farler,
Yes.
Tony Colwell.
Yes.
9 yes, 1 no.
All right, motion passes. Appointment of the 7th District Commissioner. So, as you'll remember last month, when we filled the 6th District, we'll have to vote on our rules, and I don't know, we could probably do the same thing this time. So the rules would be, a commissioner makes a nomination. We open the floor for a commissioner to make a nomination. After those nominations cease, we vote, and whoever gets majority first will take it. If they're not a majority met, then the person with the most would would come up if you had 3 people, and you would keep voting until you have majority. So process of elimination. If nobody gets a majority, then nobody would ever take the appointment. So you have to get majority in order to get the appointment. Would anybody like to make a motion to do that process of elimination as done before in this meeting?
I'll make the motion to.
Motion by Greg for the rules,
I'll second it.
seconded by Ms. Beth. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Now, we'll open the floor for nominations. Is there any county commissioner that would like to nominate anyone for the 7th District Commissioner position?
I'll make the motion to nominate Mr. Matthias Henderson.
We got a motion by Greg Matthews, and he does not need a second.
Second.
For a nomination. Yeah, he will not need a second. Is there any other county commissioner that would like to nominate someone?
I make a motion nomination cease.
All right. Larry Green made a motion that the nomination cease.
Second.
Second, but, yeah. Well, yeah, we only got one, don't we? So, would you like to,
I make a motion nomination cease and elect by acclamation.
okay.
Second.
Seconded by Colwell. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion passes, and Matthias Anderson is going to be our 7th District County Commissioner. Matthias, I think he's, hang around until after the meeting, we'll get a picture and swear you in. The next item on our agenda is the recognition of Eddie and Tara Ramos. Eddie and Tara have done some great things for DeKalb County. It's very easy and visible to see. After the jamboree, they cleaned up around the square. They've taken all kinds of trash out of haulers and in different difficult positions, and just help clean up DeKalb County and make it a better place. And we just want to take some time to recognize them. We have some DeKalb County Community Service Awards to hand out to them after the meeting. So Eddie and Tara, if you don't mind, if you hang out after the meeting, we'll get some pictures and hand out some awards and stuff. But would any commissioner like to make a motion just to acknowledge Eddie and Tara's Community Service Awards?
I'll make that motion.
Tony Lennon made a motion. Greg Matthews seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. In other business, we have an amended committee appointment. If you'll take a look at this, it should say 3/25/2024, amended as of 3/25/2024. This has replaced the positions once held by Tim Reynolds and Justin Adcock. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the amended committee appointments?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Greg, seconded by Larry. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Our assessor of property, Shannon Cantrell, has also handed out a letter to talk about some incorrect parcels from 2017. This resulted in an adjacent property owner paying property tax on a structure they did not own. Normally, this is caught and corrected in the same tax year, but in this case, it was unknown by both parties involved. This correction would need the county commission to grant permission to the trustee to refund for tax years 2017, 18, 19, and 20. Trustee without permission can refund tax years 21, 22, and 23. This would be a revenue neutral transaction. Stephen Kirby would receive a refund in the approximate amount of $29,776. So Shannon's asking for approval for the trustee to refund tax years 17, 18, 19, and 20. And he says he has to have the county commissioner approval to do so. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right.
Second.
Greg made a motion and seconded by Larry. Is there any discussion?
Do we have an address?
I don't really know. All I know is the letter that was provided by Shannon. And I'm kind of limited on the information on this. I don't think Shannon's here.
I talked to him today, if y'all got a question. So ultimately, in the long run, this is gonna whitewash itself. He's done spoke to both parties. The guy who willfully way underpaid knows he's getting billed and is completely okay with it. And that money's what's going to pay the feller back.
Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. All right. Is there any commissioner has any business?
We
We got
need
this.
ammo.
Ammo.
Ammo. Did I pass the ammo up? Thank you for catching that.
Thought Patrick was gonna come bum rushing. He done stood up to
Yeah.
the,
Don't forget about the ammo. All right. So we also have a surplus of property request from the sheriff's department for 5,000 target rounds of Spear Lawman 45 caliber ammo, and would like to request that this be sold to the Smithville Police Department for $1,707.50. So would anybody like to make a motion to surplus these
I'll make-
5,000 target rounds?
I'll make that motion.
All right, Tony Caldwell makes a motion to surplus 5,000 target rounds of Spear Lawman 45 caliber ammo, and that it be sold to the Smithville Police Department at a total amount of $1,707.50. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Greg Matthews seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Any commissioner with any other business before we get to notaries here? All right, seeing none, we have two notaries, Jana Crook and Adri White. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the notaries? These two notaries?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Glenn Merriman,
I'll second.
seconded by Beth Pappert. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Jeff,
Too quick. I'll second.
seconded by Tony Colwell.
I hesitated, Jack.
Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. We're adjourned.